Bro, I was talking to somebody recently at my job, right? We one of the homies, shout out to my nigga Miguel. But we just chopping it up about just like I guess you know when you a kid you got like that blind you got like blind confidence. You feel like I can just do everything.
Mm.
I can do whatever I want. And when you become an adult or when you become a parent or just when, you know what I'm saying, you actually start to deal with adult life or adult like I guess trouble struggles or whatever, you start to like put your dreams aside for reality
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes you know being an artist, being a basketball player, being a actor, whatever you have, it's like I don't got time to chase a dream because a dream don't give me no money.
Facts.
Sometimes you get through like this point where I'm gonna put my dreams on hold or I'm gonna come back to it. I gotta handle this first. I gotta work these hours. I gotta get this done. I gotta pay these bills. I gotta pay this car note. Or I got a kid now. Whatever happens, and that happens a lot in our generation. We see a lot now more or less in our the younger generations. They find a way to maneuver through it with the internet and just with technology and shit like that. But it's just a conversation I want to have about at what like how do you deal with setting your dreams aside for reality, and is it really a way to even be able to juggle both at the same time? Pause. It's kind of crazy, but juggle both of those at the same time, like your dreams, your aspirations, or do you just have to put them aside to get to becoming like to be an adult or a functioning human being?
Uh, you know what's crazy? I think about that every day. And growing up, you know how you hear certain shit like, well, I got pregnant with you and I had to do this and that, take care of my family, this and that and
Right,
third.
right.
And I got to think like, what would my sons or my daughter tell me? Like, Daddy, what did you want to be when you grow up?
Mm.
And I don't want to be that fucking, well, you know, I got to do this and that to take care of y'all. And I don't know. It's just,
It's a slippery slope, bro.
yeah, I believe go for it. Because if you want your kids to be the best they can be, they want you to be the best that you can be too. So,
Talk that shit.
so if you got a dream, you want to pursue it and do what you got to do that shit. At the same time, I'm gonna tell my children to do it.
Fact.
I'm not gonna tell my child, well, daddy had to resort to the railroad to provide for you. It seemed like a cop out or something just to
Yeah, I could dig that.
I got comfortable with. No, I'm not comfortable with that shit. I'm doing the railroad now, but daddy's still doing what he do. I love to breed dogs. I love to do this and that. I'm gonna pursue it, and you should do the same thing too. And don't let I don't know how to put it.
What that nigga GLC said, the only limitations that you have are those that you place upon yourself.
I'm telling you,
You know what I'm saying?
create your own reality. Like the sky's the limit.
Facts.
And like with my children, like we get you do it every day. We get them and bust our ass for our children, but at the same time working on shit we want to do.
Facts.
Exactly.
Cause at the end of the day, we know how this world is, and the reality is like daddy can go get it. I'm a hustler, and I'm not gonna
Speaking.
lie to him. Like, hey, I'm not gonna sit back and say I copped out just so I can provide for you. Cause at the same time, you showing them that it's like Joe Jackson. He wanted to be a singer and all
Mm.
that.
Mm, mm.
How he pursued, he didn't get to do it, so he pursued it with Michael and his kids. Like how hard he was on them. I'm gonna do that. So if I'm gonna tell my kids they can be all they can be, I'm gonna be all I can be, and I'm gonna push it to the limit.
But I feel like I see this. I seen this on like around. I want to say like a couple months ago or whatever. But it was like whenever it's time for you to quit, like or your kids start to quit. Like if you quit in life before, what kind of advice would you have for them? You know what
For
I'm
your
saying?
kids,
Yeah. Like if you already quit and you on the side of quitting, or you on the side of giving up, or you on the side of I didn't pursue or I didn't do the things that I want to do, how can I give you advice on push through that or get to the next level? Like how can I give you advice on it? You know what I'm saying?
I feel like it's something that you want to do. If it don't work, you have no regrets with it.
Mm.
I can say this, we can say we want to do this and that and third, but if we don't do it, and somehow when we die, how would you know it'll work? So with the kids, their minds are so open, and they feel like their parents didn't do it. They probably feel like they can't do it either.
Mm.
It's like with us growing up. Like my mom, how I grew up, I never seen no structure, no stability nowhere.
Mm.
But if I would have kept that in my mind, like, well, my mom can't do it, so I can't do it, I wouldn't have the stability to give to my kids now. So I don't know, man. That shit, you didn't flip the scripture with that one, but like,
No, I get what you're saying.
you gotta.
I don't have kids. but
Ain't
I'm just
no
saying.
man. The sky's the limit on everything. If you
Facts.
believe in it, and that's something that you truly want to do that shit. Like right now, I don't give a fuck what you. I work on the railroad. You drive trucks. Y'all do what y'all do. Whatever you want to do in life, pursue that shit. But one day your kids gonna look at this shit right now, like, well, my dad want to do this, my dad want to do that. Why did my dad stop?
Mm.
What you gonna say? Because I had to take care of you?
And then
And
then it's all you blaming your kids.
Yeah, you blaming them.
And you made that choice to have a child, so we can't blame our kids. But it's, I mean, even like you said, G, you don't got kids, but that's why it's just part of being like life. Life comes at you fast, bro. Like whether it be bills, whether it be struggles, like maybe I lose a job and I gotta figure shit out. I don't got time to be paying for studio time, or you know what I'm saying. If I want to be a rapper, I don't got. Or maybe you know what I'm saying. I know niggas that had to pawn their cameras to make ends meet just to make their bill when they really should have just picked up that camera and got a
Yeah.
couple photo shoots and got paid off of that.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Some people we kind of panic. You know what I'm saying? We panic and we just go to what we know.
Fact.
I know I can punch a clock. And I'll figure it out, or I'm gonna come back to it. It's always gonna be there for me. That shit always gonna be there for me.
Stuck in that maze.
It's like getting
Yeah. Get caught up in the cycle.
it's like getting
Words out
comfortable.
of my mouth. Pause.
What you said is like getting comfortable and where you at. It's like sometimes it's like you have to make that adjustment of like shit. When it ain't gonna be comfortable.
Get on.
Niggas and I think that's our biggest problem as just human beings. Like niggas think that winning is parallel with comfortable, and it's not.
Oh.
You gonna be tired. You gonna be man. I didn't work the 12-hour shift or 13-hour shift. I can't do this. When it's niggas that's out there doing it, and it's niggas that's out there winning while doing it.
Exactly.
So how can you give advice? And that's how I look at it. Like, how can I give advice to my kids of push through it, get through the next level? And it's like, I'm talking to myself right now. It's like, nigga, you not doing it. You know what I'm saying?
But it's your story that they'll listen to more. Like, we know the backstory. I know, like, the backstory with you.
Facts.
And, like, the backstory with me, like, we didn't overcame so much. And some shit where, like, people wouldn't even know how to overcome some shit.
Facts.
We done been through the worst of the worst. So half of the shit that our children go through, it wouldn't be nothing. To them, it might be something. To us, it's nothing.
Facts.
But they wouldn't know. They wouldn't have to understand like where their next meal come from, or why the lights off, or like how my son told me like why daddy got to go work in this and that. It's certain shit that we went through that they would never go through. But we make the strides and the steps for it so they don't have to go through it. But at the same time, it set them up. Well, we can't save them from everything, but we set them up in the right way where they have to fight their own fight, but we gonna set them up in the right way. And this life that we live, like I know for me personally, my mom, my dad, like I live differently. I grew up thinking like a single parent household was the normal thing.
Mm-hmm.
So if I hear somebody say, "Oh, my dad picked me up," "Oh, you going with your dad for the weekend?" And I stay with my mom and my dad. "Oh, shit, you stay with your mom and your dad?"
Damn.
That shit was abnormal to me.
Facts.
I'm thinking like either you stay with your mama or your grandmama.
Mm-hmm.
So now imagine 18 years of that shit. When you get to seeing everything for what it is, you fucked up in the head. And you gotta figure out what life really is about in reality and all that. So that's why I'm not gonna lie to my children. I'm gonna chase my dreams. What I gotta do and whatever I want to pursue, I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna tell them, nah, I had to do this because dad had to fight for y'all. Fuck that. If I fail, I fail. Same with them. They fail,
can learn from the failures.
They can learn from it.
And a lot of people, I think it get back around to the just jumping off the porch kind of
Yeah,
sort of.
we scared.
It's just like
Niggas scared to scrape their knee.
exactly because I mean from what I hear and what I see is like my parents they do their own shit.
Yeah,
They don't go punch a clock. But my pops always tell me it's like, bro, you gotta. This is something that you gotta dedicate to because this is what you saying to me. You saying this is what I'm gonna get the bread and butter off of.
Mhm.
So I gotta put everything into this.
facts.
And if I don't, I know the results of that. You know what I'm saying? I know the results of me not putting the bread and butter into this type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's really what it be. And my parents then went through the, you know what I'm saying? We ain't got, we got.
Yep, straight up.
They didn't been through that. So now it's like, the only thing it takes is, and I tell myself this week, it's like, you gotta have that effort. You gotta have that dog. Like,
Yeah.
nigga, I'm not losing. Fuck is you talking about?
Yeah.
Lame ass nigga. Like, you gotta talk to yourself like that.
Real talk.
Like, I'm that nigga.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody gonna, nigga. You the
gonna-
only person that, and this is what I feel, my last piece about it. You the only nigga that's standing your way of success.
Yeah.
Nobody else. Cause everybody wanna hear that underdog story. Everybody loves that, nigga, you came from shit and you made it this.
Mhm.
That's an amazing feeling
Yeah.
for me, personally. So I know for a motherfucker that ain't that grew up with everything, it's like, damn, you did what? How you get here? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Nobody's coming to save you.
It's just you.
It's just you.